And also she's kind of the first villain Disney ever had. So,
A live-action remake of Snow White, a film that carried the weight of Disney's storied legacy, has become one of Hollywood's most notorious box office failures. With a massive budget, a high-profile cast, and the promise of reimagining a timeless classic, the project was poised to captivate audiences. Instead, it collapsed under the weight of controversy, internal drama, and public backlash. At the heart of this debacle lies a rift between the film's two leading actresses, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, whose contrasting approaches to the project have fueled speculation, insider reports, and fan outrage. The fallout has not only tarnished the film's reputation, but also raised questions about the future of one of Disney's most ambitious endeavors and the careers of those involved. The original Snow White and the Theateration Dwarfs, released in 1937, holds a sacred place in cinematic history. It was Disney's first full-length animated feature, a groundbreaking achievement that laid the foundation for the company's dominance in family entertainment. The film introduced the Evil Queen, often regarded as Disney's inaugural villain, whose menacing presence captivated generations. For many, including those who grew up watching the animated classic, the story embodies nostalgia, magic, and the joy of childhood. The live-action remake was intended to honor this legacy while updating the narrative for a modern audience. The cast and crew approached the project with reverence, aiming to respect the original while infusing it with contemporary sensibilities. However, the final product strayed far from its intended path, resulting in a film that alienated fans and critics alike. Despite its high expectations, the Snow White remake bombed spectacularly at the box office. By its fourth weekend, the film had been pulled from over 1,210 theaters, a steep decline from its initial release in approximately 3,750 theaters. The numbers tell a grim story. A project that cost hundreds of millions to produce failed to resonate with audiences, leaving Disney scrambling to mitigate the damage. Insiders have pointed to a variety of factors, from poor creative decisions to lackluster performances, but one name keeps surfacing in reports: Rachel Zegler. According to sources close to the production, Zegler's co-star Gal Gadot is quietly holding her responsible for the film's collapse, setting the stage for a messy and highly publicized feud. The tension between Zegler and Gadot became apparent during the film's promotional campaign. On March 19th, Gadot posted a reel from Disneyland where she was seen promoting Snow White with infectious enthusiasm. Clips showed her enjoying the park's rides, interacting with fans, and exuding the kind of warmth and joy that Disney has long been associated with. Fans quickly took notice, praising Gadot for embodying the spirit of the brand. In contrast, Zegler's promotional efforts were overshadowed by controversy. While Gadot avoided divisive topics, Zegler became known for pushing political and woke talking points that many felt clashed with the film's family-friendly ethos. Fans pointed out that Gadot only touched on political matters when seated next to Zegler during interviews, often appearing uncomfortable or coerced into the conversation. One particularly telling moment occurred during a press junket when a reporter asked about the film's modern feminist angle. Zegler seized the opportunity to dominate the discussion, declaring that the new Snow White was not the 1937 version. She emphasized that the character would not be saved by a prince, nor would she dream of true love. Instead, Snow White's arc centered on becoming a fearless leader, inspired by her late father's vision. While Zegler's passion was evident, her delivery left Gadot visibly sidelined, sitting awkwardly as the conversation veered into polarizing territory. The clip went viral, with fans and critics alike noting the stark contrast between the two actresses' approaches. For many, Gadot's silence spoke volumes, reflecting a reluctance to engage in the political rhetoric that Zegler embraced. Critics didn't just take issue with the film's politics, they also panned the performances. Clips of Zegler and Gadot's acting circulated online, often mocked for their perceived lack of depth or authenticity. One viral TikTok juxtaposed their scenes, with fans questioning how a billion-dollar company could approve such performances. The criticism wasn't limited to social media. Professional reviews echoed similar sentiments, calling the acting uneven and the film's tone disjointed. For Gadot, who played the Evil Queen, the backlash was particularly disheartening. Insiders claimed she was deeply saddened by the film's failure, believing that the cast and crew's hard work was undermined by external factors, namely Zegler's off-screen behavior. According to reports, Gadot feels that Zegler's political outbursts derailed the project. The controversy surrounding Zegler didn't just affect the film's reception, it reportedly had tangible consequences for Gadot's career. Sources allege that Gadot lost multiple movie roles due to the drama surrounding Snow White, as studios grew wary of associating with the project's toxic reputation. Rumors have even surfaced that Gadot is considering legal action against Zegler, claiming that her co-star's actions indirectly damaged her professional prospects. While no lawsuits have been confirmed, the mere suggestion of legal recourse underscores the severity of the rift between the two actresses. Disney, meanwhile, is grappling with the fallout. The studio has reportedly delayed the film's release on Disney+, a move that speaks to their nervousness about further backlash. Despite the hundreds of millions invested, executives are hesitant to make the film widely available, fearing a second wave of criticism from audiences who skipped the theatrical release. The decision to hold back the film is unprecedented for a project of this scale, highlighting the extent of the damage. By delaying the streaming release, Disney hopes to let the controversy die down, but the strategy risks further alienating fans who feel the studio mishandled the remake from the start. The numbers paint a stark picture of the film's failure. Dropping from 3,750 theaters to just 2,540 in a matter of weeks, Snow White struggled to maintain relevance. By its fourth weekend, the film was a shadow of its former self, playing in a fraction of its original venues. The rapid decline reflects not only audience disinterest, but also a broader rejection of the film's creative direction. For Disney, a company built on the success of its animated classics, the flop is a humiliating blow. Snow White was meant to celebrate the studio's origins, but instead, it has become a cautionary tale about the risks of reimagining beloved properties. Gadot finally broke her silence on the film's failure, offering a pointed critique that many interpreted as a jab at Zegler. In a public statement, she emphasized the importance of professionalism and teamwork in successful projects, saying you need to have a very competent team along with competent and well-behaved co-stars. She also warned against letting political agendas overshadow the work, noting that audiences don't want to see actors get very political when promoting a film. Her comments resonated with fans, many of whom saw them as a direct response to Zegler's behavior. Gadot's call for professionalism struck a chord, reinforcing her reputation as a grounded and diplomatic figure in Hollywood. The tension between Gadot and Zegler has roots that go beyond the Snow White set. Their differing political views have played a significant role in their strained relationship. Gadot, who is Israeli and served in the Israel Defense Forces, has been vocal about her support for Israel. Her stance has been consistent across interviews and platforms, including Time and Hey Alma, where she has spoken openly about her heritage and beliefs. Zegler, on the other hand, has publicly supported Palestine, most notably in a 2024 social media post that ended with the phrase, "Always remember, free Palestine." The post sparked immediate controversy, drawing Disney into a geopolitical firestorm it was ill-equipped to handle. According to multiple reports, Zegler's statement caused significant internal problems for the studio. One producer, Mark Platt, allegedly met with her privately to address the controversy, which had begun to overshadow the film's promotional efforts. The situation escalated when Gadot started receiving death threats following Zegler's post. The threats were serious enough that Disney reportedly provided extra security for Gadot, footing the bill themselves. The incident deepened the divide between the two actresses, who reportedly stopped speaking off camera. Their interactions became limited to mandatory press events, and even then, the tension was palpable. At the Oscars, fans noted the awkward energy between them, with Gadot and Zegler appearing stiff and distant.